Red Cross. It wasn't bad. I was going to Red Cross like 6 hours every week, and then I had online clinicals too. My online clinicals was 8 hours every week, and I was scheduled to Red Cross. As I said, some people were scheduled to elementary schools, high schools, you know, children's hospital, home health. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. In today's video, I will be sharing with you guys my community class, how it all went, how it was. So without wasting much time, let's get into the video. But before, if today's your first time here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you've been here before, you have been here, you are part of the family, and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and let's get into the video. So you guys know it's not like I always do this heavy makeup to make my videos. I just came back from my brother-in-law's OSU graduation. Those of you who follow me on Instagram will see that. But I was like, I have to film a video. I have had this forever, and we are in leadership already. I think this is the second week of leadership, so I really have to make this video for you guys. And my camera took forever. The battery got stuck, it won't close, so it's like this video was almost not about to be filmed. But see, I'm so excited I'm filming this. Okay, so let's start. So community, oh my goodness, community was crazy. I'm gonna go to the clinicals in the second part, but let's start with community class. So you guys know every clinical class start with a med-calc exam. So when we started, we did our med-calc exam. This one you still have to get 19/20. Leadership is where you have to get 20 out of 20. So you're not there yet. You are not there yet, but then I will encourage you to start practicing to get like 20 out of 20, so you'll be used to getting 20 out of 20. So med-calc exam, the pass mark is 19 out of 20. And then we did an epidemiology group activity. I think it's a national group activity, so every Chamberlain has to do it. And then Prism was due the first week of class. Lately, like, Prism is due like the first week of class, so Prism was due. And then ATI, so this ATI in community was so different. It's kind of like a national, it's not your instructor kind of thing. So with this you have to do an ALT. With this ALT is national. The first one we did was, I think, about finding a shelter or a home for a homeless mom with 3 kids. I think that was the first one that we did, and it's national. You have to find 3 references. You can use CDC, you can use the ATI textbook, and you can find another scholarly resource that you want to use. And so that was how it was. There was one due every week, and so it was okay. It was for, I think, 50 points, so it was good. But it's just one ALT that was due. And you know the practice A assessment. With the practice A, we did it at home, and it was for 0 points. So yeah. And then we took our exam 1, which was great, honestly. And then we did the windshield survey. With the windshield survey, it was a group survey. It was part of the epidemiology group activity. With that, it was a group survey where you and your group will go to a community. So you and your group will choose a community where you want to go to, like whichever community is in your state, like in your city where you live in. Like in Columbus, me and my group, we chose Gahanna. And so you will go around the community. We had like 50 questions that we had to answer, and it was like for 50 points. And so you go through the community, and then you answer the questions. Are there convenience stores in the community? Are there grocery shops? Is there a hospital? Are there clinics? Are there ERs? And you talk about the community. And with that, it was just for individually. At the end of the class, that was when we presented, and so that was when it was like for 100 points for the whole group. This one was individually, and then we all had to answer the questions individually. And so we did more ATI, and then we did exam 2. Exam 2 was also great. I did better than I did in exam 1, so hey, it was great. And then ATI assessment B, it was for 50 points, and we did it in class. Yeah, but whatever you got is it doesn't matter because you just get your 50 point. But if you get, you know how if you get less than 100 or whatever, you have to submit 3 ALTs with critical points with whatever you missed, like you do with your ATI final. That's how ATI final CMS, that's how it was. So the practice B, we did it in class, and then we had to submit critical point for whatever you missed, and then ALTs for whatever you missed, which was actually great. I was in a hurry. I was like literally rushing out of class that day. I was so hungry. I was going to get a new car. I was so happy, and so I didn't even do good. I couldn't even finish reading the questions. So yeah, that was it. And then we did I told you, you do the ATI binder for whatever you missed. You do ALTs, critical points on what you missed. And then we did CMS review quiz for proof of studying. So our instructor gave us point before every exam. We did a review quiz. It was like for 10 points or something. It was like it was so many questions, but then it was for like 10 points. And so before we did every exam, we did a review quiz, and you get points for it. And so for the CMS also, we did a review quiz, and then you show your proof of studying by listening to the national CMS review. So if you listen to it, you solve the questions, and that's your proof of studying, and then you get your points. But it's not whatever you get, it's whatever you get is whatever you get. I don't know if you understand. Like, if you miss some point, you miss it. It's not like the practice B where even if you miss it, you still get your 50 point if you turn in your binder and stuff like that. Whatever you miss is whatever you miss. And so after that, we did the RUA. So the RUA was from group 1. Remember I told you about epidemiology and the windshield survey? That was what we did for the RUA. So for the RU was based on the windshield survey that we did with the group that we went around Guyana, and then we you have to take pictures and add it to your presentation. It was a whole lot of presentation, but it wasn't bad actually. Community wasn't bad. Okay, the whole class wasn't bad. It was fun. I loved my instructor. My clinical instructor was also great. And so let's move on to clinicals. Okay, all right, so you guys, clinicals, I did my clinicals at Red Cross. It wasn't bad. I was going to Red Cross like 6 hours every week, and then I had online clinicals too. My online clinicals was 8 hours every week, and I was scheduled to Red Cross. As I said, some people were scheduled to elementary schools, high schools, you know, children's hospital, home health, and stuff like that. Helping Hands, the community hospitals. That was where people were scheduled. I feel like it wasn't bad at all. It's just that you have to go to clinicals twice a week. Sometimes it was like 3 times a week, like a week or 2 of them. It was like 3 times a week for me, which I didn't like at all. But then I loved going to Red Cross. At Red Cross, what we did was we checked people in. They made us palpate the veins. We have to give snacks to our people who come in to give blood, our donors. It was fun. I mean, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the blood. I learned a lot that, you know, you can give whole blood or you can give just plasma. And I learned about this machine thingy. So what you give is you give everything, and they give your blood back to you, and then they take the plasma out. You know, it was cool. I loved Red Cross. It wasn't bad at all. And then, you know, with community, if you do your clinicals and if you're with an instructor or a preceptor, me, I was with an instructor because it was 2 of us at Red Cross. Some people were with a preceptor, like those who were at the middle school, those who were at the home health. It was just a preceptor. You don't have to turn in any clinical paperwork. But then if you do the online, you have to turn in clinical paperwork. That's what I hated. But it was fine. What was clinical paperwork? It wasn't bad. Anyway, I really loved community, for real. So a couple of you requested that anytime I make a video about a class, I should put in how I studied for that class. So I want to tell you guys, with this particular class, we had just 2 exams and then the CMS. So for the first exam, I used PowerPoint. It was the PowerPoint that I used, and I did okay. I didn't do like super great. I think I had what did I get? I think I had an 82 or 81 or something like that. I didn't do super great. The second exam was what I did great in. With the second exam, I did PowerPoint. I did the ATI test book. She gave us like chapters that we were doing. So as I told you guys, for the exams, I used PowerPoint. I literally read PowerPoint for my second exam. My first exam, I didn't do that good. I will not blame myself because I didn't study that much, so I'm like, whatever. But then the second exam was actually great. The second exam, I studied the PowerPoints. I did so much well in the second exam because I was doing PowerPoints, I was looking on Quizlet, I was doing so much for that PowerPoints for that exam. So the second exam I did great. I think a lot of people did well in the first exam than the second exam, they say, but then I particularly did well in the second exam. I did PowerPoints, I did the ATI book. She gave chapters from the ATI book, so I looked through those chapters. I solved the questions behind the ATI book. And for the CMS, honey, for me, the ATI book really helps me for the CMS and the questions that I solve on the ATI. It's not the same questions, but then it tells you how the questions are going to look like. If you put if you go to dynamic quizzes, the learning system 3.0, you go to dynamic quizzes and then you set it to study mode, it kind of goes takes you through it. It wasn't a lot of questions. I think it was just 40 questions for this particular community, but I did all 40 questions, and I feel like it helped me in a way that it showed me how the questions are going to be set for the CMS. This particular community is ATI exams only. It's not the instructor exam. The exam 1 and 2 was ATI, and of course CMS was ATI too. So I would say look through PowerPoint. ATI book was really helpful, guys. So I would say look through the ATI book on the ATI. If you don't have the hard copy or you don't want to get the hard copy, just look on ATI, and it was really helpful to me. Yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for joining me today, and bye bye.